All right, thank you so much. All right, so again, today is Sunday, December 12th. My name is Amiel, and I am going to be hosting this week's Taleem. I want to thank everybody for attending, and it will be a pre-recorded message, which will give by Imam Tariq El-Amin. The Taleem will give us a sneak peak of 2022 and also a year in review of 2021. It's been a year of challenges and really big challenges for a lot of us here in 2021 and last year. So this will serve as a really good update, bringing everybody up to date of the goings-ons of Master Taqwa. So, and then afterwards, we'll have an opportunity to reflect on the message and just give reflections of what we'd like to see in 2022, how you see your participation, how you see your involvement coming up in 2022. And for the remainder of 2021, the year is not over. We have a few more days left. So, and yes, everybody, you put your questions in the chat. We'll be sure to try to respond to those once the video is complete. So without any more hesitation, I want to thank everybody for attending. I'm going to get the video started and just give me one moment to share my screen.
Master Taqwa family, it is a pleasure to be with you. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. I want to just first of all, just to let you know what you're in for. Today, we're going to give a recap of Master Taqwa's year in review, 2021. We know we have seen quite a lot, and we're continuing to see struggles, challenges, but within those challenges, we're also seeing a lot of inspiration, a lot of hope. We continue to move forward. And in that spirit, we want to share just some of the highlights of 2021 for us. And also at the end to kind of give some insight into what to look for in 2022. So I'll begin by saying 2021 marks the 8th year. Yes, I was ratified as resident imam of Master Taqwa in February of 2013. We're at 2021 now, so this past February marked my 8th year, and I have to say that any success, I'm only able to do this work to serve in this capacity because of the support system that I have, that we have. On the first, mention the imam staff, our former resident imam or imam emeritus, Imam Dr. Mikhail Ramadan, Imam Rabani Mubashir, and Imam Zaki Shahid have been just wonderful supports in this work as we continue to try to collectively move our community forward. I also want to give a big shout out to our board. Many of you know all of these individuals, but I'm just going to name them off. As a matter of fact, we'll a little bit later on, we'll pull up the website just so everybody, if anybody has not been there, you get a second to look at it, and we'll talk about some of the future developments, some plans that we actually have underway right now. But we have Imam Dr. Mikhail Ramadan, and this is in no particular order, Sister Zakia El-Amin Farrier, Sister Amiel Mateen, Sister Ndidi Okapu, Dr. Lionel Allen, Dr. Lionel Allen Jr., Dr. Aisha El-Amin, Brother Omar Yamini, our brother Gregory Abdullah Mitchell, former judge, and our brother Anthony Naeem Simpkins. That's not it. We got somebody else on the board that I'm lapsing on. And of course myself. So yes, I believe that rounds out our board right now. Oh, Imam Zaki Shaheed. Yes. Okay, I knew I would come to me. It will come back to me once we got to the website. So our board has played a tremendously important role in helping to guide our organization, to guide
Jamia, we've lost audio. Can you unmute yourself?
We can't hear you, brother, ma'am.
Sister Amiel, you're muted. There you go. You unmuted it. Thank you.
Tip my cap.
Sorry
tip
about
my
that.
cap to him. To guide our organization, to guide Masjid, and to help us, in terms of our strategic planning, and just in lines or in the idea of moving us forward. So big thank you to them. Next, I want to thank some of our committees. I'll go back to Imam Rabbani, the work that he has done with the Arabic and Islamic Studies. He's been doing that for quite some time now. And you hear the announcements every week, 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to noon, Arabic and Islamic Studies. Just tip my cap to him. It's one thing to do something once, but to be able to sustain it, that's really the mark of how we should be measuring our success. Is what we're able to give life to and give our efforts to on a sustained basis. So he's been exemplary in that, and we thank him for his work, for his leadership. The Taleem Committee, under the leadership of Dr. Aisha Al-Amin, whose members are also Dr. Lionel Allen Jr. and Dr. Gloria Bashir. The work that they have been able to do under her leadership has been absolutely wonderful. When I talk about consistency, you may have noticed when we were in person on exchange, we had our Taleems, I think maybe monthly. And we had episodes where we tried to, we've had different iterations where we tried to host weekly Taleems, and it was met with varying results. But this time under this iteration of the Taleem, the presentations, we've been able to host Taleems on a weekly basis, minus the holiday weekends, but those have been far and few in between. But we've had really informative and engaging Taleems, from authors and activists, community members, on a variety of subjects, and that's been without fail. So I want to thank Dr. Aisha and the members of the committee, Dr. Gloria and Dr. Lionel, for their work. And we're looking forward to 2022. We're almost out of 2021, but they've showed up without fail, and that's just been a wonderful thing to see. The next is we want to bring up our volunteers for the properties. Matter of fact, I think this might be a good time to go into some of those pictures to talk a little bit about well, before we do that, we'll just give the recap, just in case anybody missed it, right? We purchased the property at 9329 through 35 South Escanaba in May of 2020. Yeah, May of 2020, right before, or I think it was during Ramadan, or like at the beginning or end. I believe it was the beginning of Ramadan, 2020. We purchased the property. It's our first property that we've owned. We have gone through from that point until now. We have gone through quite a bit, not just to secure the property. So once we bought the property, we realized, it was a former animal hospital and a boarding kind of a kennel space. So we realized that we had a lot of work to do in terms of rehab. And I'll pull up some of those pictures. Matter of fact, that's where we're going to start. We'll start with some of those pictures right now. So let's take a look. Here we go. All right. So actually, right here, this is actually inside on what is going to be multi-purpose area. And on this side, there were stalls. It was concrete. I'll mute this. But this side was, these were concrete stables, right? These were walls that were about 3.5 feet high. And there were like 5 of them, and about 15 feet long. And it took us, I want to say, maybe 3 weekends to get all of them down. And it was a long and arduous and laborious process to get this work done. But you see right here, you see Ma'am Rabani right here, and Brother Vale, and I can't see who's in the background, but that's just part of the work. This area here, this is the Masala area. And this is after a day of working. And I want you to do something. I want to count the people, because the number that I'm going to give you is going to make a lot of sense to you, because this is not just one day. This is multiple, weekend after weekend after weekend of folks coming out. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people that are here on this particular day. And then we also had a smaller group. It was about 4 or 5 of us that would come in, and we did the drywall in here, the insulation drywall. We put up a new, framed out a new wall, did quite a bit, but all of the demolition work in this space was done by us. Now, if you consider that your average laborer on a downtown job, a union job, is making about $50 an hour. $50 an hour times 40, put in a full week, that's $2,000, right? If you had 10 people doing that, that would be what? That'd be $20,000. We've got 13 people here. We put in, I'd probably say double that, but even if it was, so that would be, say, 20, 40,000. I'm going to say with absolutely no hesitancy that I'm positive that our volunteers, our time that we put in on this project has saved us no less than $50,000. So that is just a wonderful contribution that we've been able to make, in this regard. So I'm gonna stop the share right here. Okay. So we've been able to get the building to the point that it is right now. We are expecting for concrete next week. We passed our plumbing inspection. We've had our underground plumbing installed. We expect to go in next week and have the first concrete pour, after which we'll start framing. And we expect the ball to really start moving along. And inshallah, we're looking at February as having the masala open, bathrooms done, and you know, and having that space open. So we're on track. This also leads me to another great, one of the highlights of 2021. We had our most successful fundraising effort in our history. And that was a Ramadan campaign. I want to give the finance committee under the leadership of Sister Ndidi Okafu. There was, I know Imam Zaki and Brother Bill Chambers, and I think Brother Omar, and you know, forgive me for those, if I'm leaving anybody, for those who I am leaving out, because I know it was a large group, but under Sister Ndidi's leadership and direction, we were able to meet our first goal, which was a $30,000 fundraising goal. We met that, I think, within the first 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 days. I think it was a really quick turnaround. We moved that up, I think, to 50, and then we met that. Then we moved to 75, I think, or 80, and we met that, and we were down to like the last 2 or 3 days, and we moved the goal to 100,000. And by Allah's grace and rewarding the hard work, the phone calls, the texts, just the effort, the community responded, and we met that goal of $100,000. And that has been what we have used to pay our contractors, to get the tuck pointing done, to pay our electrical contractor, our plumbing, to get glass repairs, just to get the work that's done. And really, the $100,000 that we look to raise, that does not cover the cost of the entire cost of the rehab. We're going to have to go back out again, but when we do, we want to go back, and show all of the work that we've been able to do. And once again, I want to go back and say, in great part, our own labor has played a huge role in the work that we've been able to do, and we've been able to stretch this, that 100,000 that we were able to raise, because we've been willing to come out and do everything that we could. So great fundraising campaign that happened. It was historical for us, and inshallah, that's not going to be the exception. We intend to, when we go into 2022, we intend to surpass that, right? That's got to be our goal, and the growth of our community is to be able to look at that as a, kind of a lift-off point, if you will. So great work to that committee, and once again, we're looking for bigger and better 2022. Our service, we have been known by the care and the concern, the stewardship that we have shown for our not just for our interior community, but for our external community as well. And that's shown, on exchange, we're on exchange. We had the, in partnership with Bridging the Gap. And the funny thing is, it was under Bridging the Gap, but that's never something that the community, right? The people that received lunches from us, they saw that they were being helped by, they saw Taqwa responding to their needs. And that's exactly what it was, because, we're part of Taqwa, right? We are, as a community, this is who we are. And our God consciousness, it moves us to move outside of our walls and respond to the needs of the community. So even when we were on an exchange, we were doing this work, reaching out. But even during this pandemic, I mentioned that to say that for a lot of spaces, there was a disruption because of the pandemic that, it made things a lot easier. It made things a lot more difficult for people to get out. There was a lot of worry, a lot of trepidation, but we have been able to continue that spirit of service. So once we came to Escanaba, even with our property not going through a permit process that was really long, and we talked about this many times, it took us almost a year to have our plans accepted by the city of Chicago, by its building planning department, zoning department. It took us almost a year for us to get the permits to actually come in and have the trades folks start doing their work. So, but during that time, we still were responding to the needs in the community, and we did that a couple of ways. Well, more than a couple of ways. We passed out ComEd vouchers to community members. We passed out. We've done grocery boxes. We've moved on from passing out lunches. Although we did do hot chocolate and chili, right? We passed out and community neighbors right across the street, and people driving down the street, pulled over and got some, and really appreciative. We've done Friday before last, we had our second coat drive, right? Or winter kit giveaway. We did about a little bit under 100 coats, scarves, hats, and gloves. As I was saying, as far as the lunches are concerned, we've moved up from just passing out single lunches to passing out grocery boxes. And we've done that in partnership with other organizations that recognize our desire to be stewards, or our current efforts, right? The efforts that we've already demonstrated in our community, and they wanted to add to our capacity, to realize that goal. So we've moved on from lunches to passing out grocery boxes, and we've been able to pass out anywhere from 50 to 75 grocery boxes, and these boxes have enough food in them. They can supply a family's needs for a week, easily. So we've been able to take care of households instead of just individuals. So alhamdulillah for that. And we've also, we just passed out. We distributed about 50, I want to say 50, maybe a little bit over 50 turkeys. Zabia halal turkeys. And I'm glad to say that there were members within our own Taqwa family who were able to receive those. And there are also members in the community as well who were able to receive them. And there was one sister, Latina sister, who drove up and saw that we were giving away turkeys. And as soon as she saw, she said, "What? This is a free turkey? I get this." And she got the turkey, got on the phone, and whoever she's talking to, "I just got a turkey. I just got a free turkey." So it was obviously right on time for her. And what we have seen every time that we have gone to, whether it's grocery boxes or whatever it is that we have tried to share with the community, we have seen that we don't have to wait long. Allah blessed our efforts when we were on exchange. To be of use, be of service in the community. There were times where we might spend an hour, hour and a half, right? Just passing out lunches. We pass out 50, 60, 70 grocery boxes in a half hour at this location. It's a residential area, but the traffic that we get, and not just the traffic, but I believe the need. I think Allah is affirming. He is affirming our move. He is affirming our spirit to serve, and letting us know that we are in the right space at the right time. Because every time we come out, we don't have to do a lot of a lot of asking or anything. Matter of fact, it's just come, show up with it, and people are receiving. And I'm also really pleased to share that one of our Taqwa family um, who lives on the block, brother Lonzel, his aunt came out and she said, "Well, can I help?" You know, she jumped right in. So yeah, so she helped to distribute the turkeys. And I mentioned that because this is also part of our growth, is that we want to incorporate, we want to include the community in our work, because it is our work, right? Collectively, it's our work. It's our efforts to respond to the needs of the community. So we know in our tradition, you know, the hand that does this, right, is better than the hand that does this, right? So it's better to give than to receive, but to be able to do both at the same time, you know, that's indeed a blessing. So we look forward to, that's also one of the things that is on the list for 2022 in terms of our outreach and being able to bring in more community members to take part in this stewardship. So as we build deeper relationships, we're going to see more and more evidence of that cooperation in the participation, you know, and who shows up. I didn't mention, I want to scroll back a little bit. We were able to we took full advantage of having an enclosed parking lot, which we did have resurfaced. We also had the roof redone, about 70% of the roof. The rest of it, you know, it was under good condition. But we held our Salat al-Jumu'ah outside, you know, many of you, you know, as you know, and that was a beautiful space for us to be in. So we did it as long as the weather permitted. Inshallah, we're looking forward to, like I said, we're looking forward to the Masala area being open again. But we shouldn't be surprised once the weather breaks. You know, we may decide to, you know, go back out again. You know, but that'll be something that's open to us. We want to talk a little bit about participation and representation within the larger community and or the interfaith space. We did a presentation a few months ago about a trip to Mauritania with the Abolition Institute and myself, Dr. Aisha, and Judge, our brother Naeem Simpkins. We're all members, we're all board members of that organization. The three of us also with Sister Tammy McCann Simpkins. We traveled to Mauritania as a part of that delegation to support the work of anti-slavery organizations, to meet with, some international government officials to advance those efforts. So, you know, it's not just us going, it is, you know, we are representations of Masjid al-Taqwa, right? There have been, you know, there's one of the things that we don't have publicists. And I have to say this. You've heard the saying, there are people who are they're doing a lot less, but they publicize a whole lot, right? So it's not always what you're doing, but sometimes it's the perception of activity. I want to just assure you all, there's a lot that happens, but because we don't, you know, we're just in the mix, we're in the effort, we're committed to doing the work, that we don't actually always get to take pictures. There's not always a write-up, but we are involved with the, participated in the Interfaith Thanksgiving Day service with the Council of Religious Leaders of Metropolitan Chicago. After the death of former police officer Ella French, who was slain in the line of duty, I participated as one of the faith leaders to offer prayers and words of comfort and hope as we, you know, still contend with violence in our city. What else? We have, there was the, many of you know Dr. Timio Black, noted organizer, historian, activist whose life, you know, has benefited, you know, this city and also I would say the world. You know, he's the one who he counseled Reverend Jesse Jackson. You know, Reverend Jesse Jackson got in. He's the one, you know, he went to him to get the lay of the land, you know, to as an advisor. He is also the one who, for lack of a better word, you know, schooled our President Obama before he became, you know, on his way into becoming an organizer. And, you know, he was just a luminary that some of us are aware of, some of us, you know, are not, but we certainly know the fruits of his life, know the fruits of his life, but may not have known that that's what we were looking at. So anyway, there was an interfaith memorial honoring his life. I was one of the faith leaders to give a prayer at that. And I mentioned these things to say that at each of these occasions, it is, you know, Imam Tariq El-Amin, resident Imam of Masjid al-Taqwa, right? So this community is being represented in a multitude of spaces. And in 2022, as we continue to grow, the hope is that the plan is that we look for that representation to continue to expand, right? Is for that to continue to expand. And we are represented in many different ways. And as a matter of fact, our membership, right, our board, you know, our members themselves are representations of Taqwa. And we encourage you to continue, you know, to take that on, to be an ambassador for Taqwa. That is also one of the things that we want to look at, you know, as we move forward, to be an ambassador for this institution, for the work and for the spirit that we are attempting to embody. And we want to give a congratulations to our brother Naeem Simpkins. He was just named one of the, I believe it's 70 or 70, whatever the number is, but it's a notable list of Black executives in Chicago, and he's in that. And so just congratulations, and continue representing, doing great work. I want to jump over really quickly because I realize time is not with me. Our YouTube, we have made some great strides with our social media via YouTube. And right now, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you really quickly. Okay. All right, where's our YouTube? That's not it. Let me stop sharing for a second. Go back in here. All right, so our YouTube right now, we're at Masjid Taqwa Chicago. And how come I can't find this? Okay, all right. All right, you all get to see my reading list. All right. This is not working. Let's try this again. Okay, that did not work as planned. All right, our YouTube right now, the link is always in the newsletter, but right now we're up to 92 subscribers. We've got about, I think, 60 videos. No, we've got more than 60 videos. Yeah, we've got well more than that. But what do we want to do moving forward? We want to expand. So we've got about 92 subscribers now. We want to get our subscribers up. We want to, by the end of 2022, we want to have at least, we got 92 now. We want to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And I know you say, how you go from 92 to 1,000? Well, that's growth, right? And exponential. And the way these things happen, you just think about the cell. right? The cell goes from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 to 64, 128, 256, and so on, right? So that's how that growth is going to happen. As a group, that's only going to be possible with your participation, with you sharing. Send out the weekly Taleem, send out the Juma, send out any other programming. We're looking to add additional programming to our YouTube channel in 2022. But share those two things. Share those things with your friends, with your coworkers. Send them the link. Ask them to subscribe. We want to thank Sister Gina. Sister Gina has been just an absolute blessing, absolute godsend. She's come in and she's taken over the editing. So our Jumas and our Taleem, they are up within a couple of days, sometimes the same day. But that has been a wonderful contribution that she's given her skill set, some of her skill set to help us and carry some of that work, and we deeply appreciate it. So thank you so much, Sister G. And we also have, with regard to our website, we have Brother Bill Chambers, who's just come on, and he's going to be working with adding new content and updating. So there are some exciting things. There are some new things that are in the works for 2022 with regard to some member exclusive access and items that will be there. So there's going to be a members page, right? So as a registered member of National Talk About, we did a membership drive where we got your, you got your information. I'm not certain if you got a card or not, but we want to, this has to be we want some, we got to make commitments to each other, right? And of course, anybody is always welcome to join us. But when you say you are a member of Mesh Talk About, that means that you understand the mission and the vision, and that you are taking on a part of that representation, right? You're taking on your share of leadership. So, with that, there's those expectations, there's a different level of engagement. So we're going to have a members only page that will be up, inshallah, early, or it's in development now. So those are some of the things that are going to be developed and available. Last thing I want to mention, and I'm sorry I've gone on so long that it doesn't leave a lot for questioning, but let me see. Grocery box is one of the kids. I'm on the schedule for Mass ICNA. I'll be leading, doing 3 sessions. If anyone is interested in information, you can get at me offline or send an email. Last but not least, our Facebook pages. So we got a Facebook group and a Facebook page. If you've not liked the Facebook page, do so. Encourage others to do so as well. Share anything that comes. If you're on Facebook, share those items that are posted on our Facebook page. Join the Facebook group. Our ability to to be effective, it falls down to our coordinated efforts, right? What we can come together on and work together to achieve. So with that, I'm gonna end and say that 2021 has been challenging, working within within this pandemic, working with the obstacles that we've had to deal with, just in terms of this construction, working, with all the things that we deal with institutionally, but all the things that we've also had to deal with in our own families. We've had a number of of believers who have made the transition. And, this makes things even more challenging. And I worry that I'm leaving something out. So I'm going to ask for whatever I left out, I pray that you understand it. I'm not, there's nothing willful I'm leaving out. So, but it's a charge it to my head and not my heart, trying to work within the confines of the clock, which I am just about exhausted. But I'm excited about 2022. I'm excited about our growth and about what I see ahead of us. I invite you to recommit, to make a deeper commitment, and share. Take a bigger share in this work. So with that, I thank you for your attention. I pray that Allah continues to bless us in our efforts. I pray Allah continues to keep our hearts open, allow us to see the best in each other, allow us to support one another and support this work, which is so vital and so important. You remember what Imam Muhammad, may Allah have mercy on him, ran in paradise. He said, give me a good future. All right, give me a good future. That is, I believe that's the prayer of every, not just of every righteous leader, but that's the prayer of every parent, right? Who is given of themselves, to their children, to their families. And the same is true for our righteous leaders, for the prophets, for all. We give them a good future by using what they have given us and honoring their memory in our efforts. So let's do that. Let's continue